Yeah, I'm calling bullshit on this. Yes, if you haven't heard already, Russell Brand is a serial rapist. Okay, apparently, women have come out, 4 or 5 women have come out of the blue, out of the woodworks. Now, for some reason, not when it happened, 10, 20 years ago, I don't know how long back they're stretching this, but these women have come out saying that Russell Brand raped them. But why now? Why not 2 months after or 2 weeks after he did it? Now, the way the mainstream media has handled this is exactly the way I thought and I knew they would handle this. They will make up any bullshit story to stick on this man. Anything. To Russell Brand 6 years ago fingered my cat, or Russell Brand had sex with my nan against her will, or any bullshit story that they're making up. And if you don't believe me, look at these headlines right here. She has broken her silence. Glamour model, bombshell, Russell Brand. Another one here from The Independent. I've got this fear that my daughters will bring someone like this home. Sean Locke claims he hated Russell Brand in a clip circulating after fresh allegations. Sean Locke has been dead for over a fucking year. That's how desperate mainstream media is. They just gather any story. They're bringing up dead people's quotes about this man. And here's another one here. One of my daughters was 15 years old at the time. I was deeply offended then, and I remain deeply offended now. Vanessa Feltz. Now, if you don't know who Vanessa Feltz is, she's a TV host. And the picture you're seeing right now on the left hand side, this was from a show on T4, I believe. This was about 20 years ago. This was a long time ago. Okay, I remember watching this in my 20s. And they're bringing this shit up now? Here's another one. I fled Brand. Russell Brand stalked me down the street, demanding sex after I met him in the bar. I felt like I was being hunted. Ex-model claims. Really? Which ex-model was this? Where's the evidence of this? You got an image that you probably found on Google. I can find an image like that of a silhouette of a person looking out of a window. In fact, I fucking have. Look. See? Wasn't that difficult? I can use any one of these images and make up a bullshit story. It's easily done. And it doesn't stop there. It really does feel like a coordinated attack on this man for some reason. And I know what that reason is. This man has recently, maybe a few years ago, came out and started attacking mainstream media and pointing his fingers at big government and big companies and pointing out their hypocrisy and lies in his videos and on his YouTube channel. Now, his YouTube channel has over 6 million people subscribed to it. And not only that, he talks about very controversial subjects, like, for instance, the Ukraine censorship being exposed, how the feds will control your digital money. He's talking about another lockdown coming and who mandates them. He talks about the movie Sounds of Freedom. Psychedelic enhancement drugs to elevate your consciousness. He has a video of saying proof we're heading towards a cashless society. He talks about, January 6th. He has Tucker Carlson on. He talks to Jordan Peterson. All these things that the mainstream media and the left hate and want to eliminate. He's bringing forward on his channel that has millions of subscribers and gets millions of views. They want to eliminate that. And the only way they can do that is make up these allegations. And they've done this before. They've done this with, I don't know, Andrew Tate, Brett Kavanaugh. Now, the next headline about Russell Brand is this one here, okay? And I remember watching this and I immediately went onto YouTube to find the clip because this was 110% bullshit. She looks so uncomfortable. Video resurfaced of Jimmy Fallon telling off Russell Brand after comedian bounces Catherine McPhee. Now, in this still shot, it looks like he's grabbed her by the waist and he's thrusting her up and down on his groin. But it's not what happened. She comes on and he stays in the seat that he should move over and she sits on his lap. She gets up and sits on his lap and starts bouncing on him.
You have to move out of your chair and...
Catherine is welcome to
No, she's not. It's not. No, don't do it. Trust me, don't do this. Don't even say for the Queen. You
We're
can't.
gonna do an interview
Don't say for the Queen.
For the Queen!
No, don't say that, please. Russell.
You're beautiful,
Russell,
I think.
please.
Oh, thank you.
Should I just sit here?
Sure.
I'll just be here.
Russell, look away.
With my sexual charisma.
All right.
Yes, she felt so uncomfortable, didn't she? As she got off her chair and sat on his lap and started bouncing on his lap herself. Gratefully enough and thankfully enough, she came out and called the media out on this and said that nothing was happened, she didn't feel uncomfortable. And this was harmless, in her words. And this was in 2013. They stretched back for this image. And one of the things that I believe that they're coming after him is because he's telling the truth. And one of the truths that he was saying was on Bill Maher. And I'm going to show you a few clips now of Bill Maher, but I'm going to show you a few clips now of his channel on YouTube. Now he's talking about pharmaceutical companies by uplifting cost of medical prescriptions or gas prices being rose up so gas companies can get rich quick.
Facts. I love facts.
I wouldn't have mentioned it. I'm English, and you know that politeness is our fundamental religion.
Yeah.
But they do pertain to this issue, so may I say some
Please,
of them?
please,
If they
please do.
inconvenience
I see-
you, I'll stop saying them. The pandemic created at least 40 new big pharma billionaires. Pharmaceutical corporations like Moderna and Pfizer made $1,000 of profit every second from the COVID-19 vaccine. More than two-thirds of Congress received campaign funding from pharmaceutical companies in the 2020 election. Pfizer chairman Albert Bourla told Time magazine in July 2020 that his company was developing a COVID vaccine for the good of humanity, not for money. And of course, Pfizer made $100 billion in profit in 2022. And may I just mention, finally, and this is also a fact, that you, the American public, funded the development of that. The German public funded the BioNTech vaccine. When it came to the profits, they took the profits. When it came to the funding, you paid for the funding. All I'm querying is this.
Yes.
Is if you have an economic system in which pharmaceutical companies benefit hugely from medical emergencies, where a military-industrial complex benefits from war, where energy companies benefit from energy crises, you are going to generate states of perpetual crisis.
Yes.
Where the ludicrous, outrageous criticisms of Joe Rogan around ivermectin, deliberately referring to it as a horse medicine when they know it's an effective medicine.
Yeah, that's
What
not a bad
Rachel
example.
Maddow turning up on the TV saying, if you take this vaccine, you're not going to get it, when it hadn't been clinically trialed for transmission.
Non-responsive.
You have to listen.
Wait.
Do you think you can
Not a
improve
response.
America
I
by
think we could all
determinedly
be
and
better.
avowedly condemning Fox News without acknowledging that you're participating in the same game? Did you not just listen to Bernie Sanders, someone who plainly, legitimately believes in this country and believes it's possible to change, but is bound by corruption, is bound by the lobbying system, and bickering about which propagandist network is the worst, is not going to save a single American life, not improve the life of a single American child, not going to improve America's standing in the world, and the world needs a strong America, I'll tell you.
So you heard that, and you want to know why all these allegations has suddenly just came out the shadows, out of the woodwork. That's because of what you just watched. I honestly believe that Russell Brand is innocent. Well, you are innocent until proven guilty, and right now there is zero evidence of any of these claims. This man is being hunted down and taken off of social media. Now obviously they can't kill this person, because if you do, then it's going to people are going to speculate. Like, oh, you've killed this person like Epstein because you're trying to hide something. So they have to do something else. They have to publicly shame this man into annihilation. This man, I believe, is innocent. Now, I could be wrong. The allegations that come out might be true. And if they are true, he should go to prison. But it's just weird that right after, a few months after being on Bill Maher, saying what he said, this happens. Just like Andrew Tate, when he was saying on his podcast, they didn't like what he was saying because he had influence. He had an audience. He could reach out to millions of people. And the establishment doesn't want that. They want you to look at their TV screen, their news stations, their stories, their propaganda, and they do not want you looking anywhere else, because if you do, then they can't control you. They can't manipulate you. You are a free-minded person. And if you look at Russell Brand's video, I'm going to show you now, he says that right at the end.
Now, this isn't the usual type of video we make on this channel where we critique, attack and undermine the news in all its corruption, because in this story, I am the news. I've received two extremely disturbing letters, or a letter and an email, one from a mainstream media TV company, one from a newspaper, listing a litany of extremely egregious and aggressive attacks, as well as some pretty stupid stuff like my community festival should be stopped, that I shouldn't be able to attack mainstream media narratives on this channel. But amidst this litany of astonishing, rather baroque attacks are some very serious allegations that I absolutely refute. These allegations pertain to the time when I was working in the mainstream, when I was in the newspapers all the time, when I was in the movies, and as I've written about extensively in my books, I was very, very promiscuous. Now, during that time of promiscuity, the relationships I had were absolutely always consensual. I was always transparent about that then, almost too transparent. And I'm being transparent about it now as well. And to see that transparency metastasized into something criminal that I absolutely deny makes me question, is there another agenda at play? Particularly when we've seen coordinated media attacks before, like with Joe Rogan when he dared to take a medicine that the mainstream media didn't approve of, and we saw a spate of headlines from media outlets across the world using the same language. I'm aware that you guys have been saying in the comments for a while, watch out Russell, they're coming for you, you're getting too close to the truth, Russell Brand did not kill himself. I know that a year ago there was a spate of articles, Russell Brand's a conspiracy theorist, Russell Brand's right wing. I'm aware of news media making phone calls, sending letters to people I know for ages and ages. It's been clear to me, or at least it feels to me, like there's a serious and concerted agenda to control these kind of spaces and these kind of voices. And I mean my voice along with your voice. I don't mind them using my books and my stand-up to talk about my promiscuous consensual conduct in the past. What I seriously refute are these very, very serious criminal allegations. Also, it's worth mentioning that there are witnesses whose evidence directly contradicts the narratives that these two mainstream media outlets are trying to construct, apparently in what seems to me to be a coordinated attack. Now, I don't want to get into this any further because of the serious nature of the allegations, but I feel like I'm being attacked, and plainly they are working very closely together. We are obviously going to look into this matter because it's very, very serious. In the meantime, I want you to stay close, stay awake, but more important than any of that, if you can, please stay free.
You ask most people what their number one fear is. What do you think it is? Most people's number one fear is public humiliation. Okay. I don't give a anymore. I'm not afraid of it because I've had plenty. And now it's just time for me to say I'm tough, because what does not kill you makes you strong.
Now, where do I stand on this situation with Russell Brand? I'm standing with he's innocent, because you are indeed innocent until proven guilty, and there is not one shred of evidence proving that this man is guilty as of yet. Like I said, if this evidence comes out and it goes to court and there's enough evidence to convict him of these crimes and he goes down as guilty, then so be it. The man is guilty. But right now, in my heart and in my eyes, this man is 100% innocent, and he's being attacked by social media, coordinated attacked because of what he stands for and what he says to millions of minds worldwide. And they don't like this, plain and simple. So, let me know what you think in the comment section, please. If you want to subscribe, it's up to you. Like I said before, if you've made it to this point in the video, thank you so much. Hit that bell. I will see you again next time. Keep safe and keep open-minded and be free.
The young Americans, not for long though, because young Americans are dying at alarming rates. What could have caused it? Were there any irresponsible, ill-thought-out policies introduced in the last couple of years?